Hey guys, Mark Gaudette here. Welcome to day 6 of my personal development journey here, where over the next 3 to 4 months, I'm looking to completely transform my life, not only from a mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual standpoint, but also the results I see in the physical world. Now, if you guys have been watching day 1 through day 6, we've covered some pretty important material. One of the things that we talked about day 1 was going after what we want, really setting that intention. Where do I want my life to be in 3 to 4 months? What goals do I want to achieve? And then from there, identifying ways in which we can keep that momentum by attracting the right people, the right groups that are working towards similar goals as us to keep us on path and keep that energy up. Also identifying ourselves as leaders, recognizing that we influence every single person in some way, shape, or form that we come into contact each day. And also some ideas of flipping certain beliefs that are limiting to us on their head so that we can look at things in the right way. All of these things were done with the intention of not only making an impact for you and the others that you interact with, but also the impact or the desire of having the proper amount of energy, feeling the right way as you work towards your goals, protecting your mindset, protecting your emotions so that you're taking actions with the right emotions. So that stuff is all fantastic, and then that stuff is all great. You can do that stuff and plan all that stuff in the capacity of your own bedroom. Here's the reality though, and something that came up to me yesterday and I had to become aware of and I wanted to share with you. The reality is, even if you have all that in place, you've still got to go out and interact with the real world, right? So some of you may be facing this, right? You have a 9-to-5 job, for example, I'm just saying, and you want to start your own business in 3 to 4 months. And you're hanging, most of the people that you're working with, maybe they don't want to start a business. Maybe they're happy doing what they do, and they have very different behaviors that they're doing that would enable them to continue to live the lifestyle that they're living. But maybe you have something very, very different in mind that you have, I guess, for your own life, for your family's life, and for the people that you want to contribute to. And so you're being influenced by two, I guess, motivations. One, you're being influenced by your own goals and your own dreams and your own desires, which can be so strong. And if they are, I hope they are, because that's going to keep you moving towards them at such a rapid pace and making it a priority over all these other distractions. But at the same time, if you're constantly being bombarded with competing interests that have also of interest to you, you may find that you either lose some of that energy or momentum to work towards your goals, or even worse, even though it seems noble, come up with resistance. You might feel resistance towards some of those other areas that are competing for your time and your interests, such as your friends wanting to go for a drink when you probably know that you should be doing your business plan, or when your friends want to go to a movie or on a trip when you know that you should be attending a mastermind or a group meeting with people that are helping you improve on your business. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing right here. You should be actively moving towards your goals in a joyous way. So sometimes, definitely taking time for yourself is 100% mandatory. But what I'm getting at is this whole notion of resistance when people bring different energies to you or different opportunities that maybe are not aligned 100% with what you want to achieve. And guess what? That's going to happen, if it hasn't already happened, as you work with people that are not working towards the same goals as you, as you interact in life, as you come across people that maybe are in a bad mood out on the street. And so I know one of the most important things for me is to maintain that high energy, is to always feel like I'm moving forward, to always feel like I'm making the right connections and moving towards my goal every day. And that gives me motivation, that gives me inspiration, that keeps me energetic. And one of the things that I've noticed that I'm actually working on right now, and that I've actually corrected right now through journaling this morning, was noticing that when people are feeling very different than I am, or they're in a very different, I guess you could say, different frequency or vibration than I am, that sometimes a habit that I used to have was I may feel that I'm obligated and that it is my duty to actually help them feel the way that I do, because I want everyone to feel so inspired. I want everyone to feel so motivated and great. But what I came to realize is that actually can backfire not only on myself, but on them. And here's what I mean by that. Not everyone is working towards the same goal as you. Remember that. And so if I'm going out there and I'm trying to inspire someone to be maybe an entrepreneur or, feel the way that I do, that's almost like me telling them, especially if I'm really trying to force them and tell them why they should feel that way, that's really like me telling them that they're not good enough, you see, in some way, even though it's not using those exact words. And so they might actually have resistance with what they're doing and say, hey, you know what? I'm happy with what I'm doing. You know, I like with what I'm doing. Why can't you just chill out? And then before you know it, you might even be in sort of, I guess, a tension sort of situation where you're both going at it. You've raised the tension in the situation. At the same time, you've probably decreased your inspiration and motivation because now you're using almost energy that you could be using for your goals and feeling good towards protecting the way that you feel and protecting and making sure that the other person doesn't pull you in their direction. And so I learned this is very important because one of the things that I noticed that I do is sometimes I would interact with people in that way, and therefore I realized that actually pulled me away from my goals. When I tried to impact people in a way, I wouldn't say impact, but almost force or almost force the way that I believe that they should feel, or almost try to make them feel the way that I do because I felt that was my responsibility. Guys, it's not. It's not your responsibility to make anyone support you, support your dreams, or make them feel that they need to be working towards an entrepreneurship journey or anything that has to do with your goal. It's not your job to get them to accept you or feel like you need to sell them on why you're doing what you do. You don't have to do that for anyone. You just have to do that for yourself. The right people, the right places, the right situations are going to come into your life. Maybe not everyone's going to agree with you. The external world may not be on the same page as you or some of the environments that you find yourself in, at least not yet. They will eventually for sure if they aren't, but at least not yet. If that's the way it is, that's fine. The reality is, if we try to get caught up and try to force other people or try to really explain and really prove that our way is the right way, then people can kind of get turned off sometimes, right? Especially if they don't have the same goals and dreams as us, and that can affect our energy and pull it down. And remember, there's nothing more important as you work towards your goals and dreams as maintaining that energy, as keeping that belief, that confidence that what you're doing is the right thing and feeling good about yourself every day so that you're always moving towards your goals and taking those action steps with the right energy. And so one of the things I learned as I got into a situation that was very similar to that yesterday is I had to take a step back, and as I was doing some reflection and say, what is it about this situation? What is there for me in this situation that I need to learn about myself? Guys, listen, what is there for me in this situation that I need to learn about myself so that I don't repeat this pattern anymore? Because people are the most important. Relationships are the most important as we move towards our goals. And if we want people to help us and support us, we have to make sure that we're keeping integrity with those relationships and not forcing anything upon people, even though we may be so excited and passionate about our dream and our vision, or feeling like we have to defend ourselves. So I realized by asking that question that for me, so that I don't continue to repeat this pattern, the most important thing for me to do was to recognize that I'm sometimes putting up resistance, and I don't have to resist the way other people feel or the opportunities that come my way that may conflict with what I'm trying to do. I don't have to resist them. I just have to commit. The second thing is make a commitment to myself, which I have, that I'm going to maintain my frequency, my wavelength, my vibration, whatever it is, the way that I want to feel, as consistent as possible on a regular basis, because that's the most important thing to me. And if people bring other things to me, or they decide they want to offer certain things, or maybe they're not feeling a certain way, I can be there and listen to them, but I don't have to adopt the way that they feel or do anything that I don't want to do. I don't have to. And I don't have to come off in a way where it makes them seem like what they're doing is not good enough, or make them feel bad about themselves, because remember, that's only going to make tension to the situation, and it's going to make you feel bad about yourself. And therefore, when you do, if you recognize this, for me, I recognize this as a game changer, because if I were to continue this habit every single day that I come into contact with someone that doesn't necessarily have the same vision as me, or doesn't necessarily feel exactly the way that I feel that they should feel, if I'm doing that, I'm probably not going to reach my goals in 3 to 4 months, because I'm trying to control too many things that are, or the outcome, basically, things, other people's outcomes. I'm trying to control that, which is not up to me. It's not up to me. My responsibility is to control my own outcome. My responsibility is to work with God, with the universe, to control my own outcomes by allowing those things, doing everything that I can do and leaving the rest to God or the universe, and doing everything I can do in the right frame of mind, doing everything that I can do with the right energy. And by doing that, you'll keep yourself moving forward consistently without resistance, and you'll keep yourself feeling a lot better. So I hope that you took something away from this video. If there's anything that you've noticed in your past behavior, or any patterns that you've been repeating that have potentially held you back, to ask yourself that question: what is there for me to learn in this situation? Or what is there for me to learn about myself in this situation that once learned will prevent me from repeating the same pattern, so that I can ensure that I keep moving forward by being the person that I want to be, by being the person that I have committed to be, and so that I can ensure that I'm actually able to reach my goals. Because remember, everyone, we need people to reach our goals. We need people to support us. We need people to like us. We need people to believe in us. And obviously, we can only inspire those that are ready. We can only help those that are ready and want to be helped. But at the end of the day, maintaining those relationships and having people have positive feelings and emotions about you is so important. And one of the most important ways to do that is by allowing them to be whoever they want to be and just not resisting. Guys, you're going to be okay. No matter what, just commit to your goal. You're going to be fine. Even when the external world is out there and there's different ideas coming at you, there's different people feeling different ways and different, challenges or problems, whatever you want to call them. I call them opportunities coming to you. Just recognize everything's okay. Everything's coming to you that needs to come to you. And everything that is coming in your sphere is actually meant to help you get to the next level. There's actually always something there in each opportunity, each challenge, each conversation, each conflict, each emotion that you feel that may not be in alignment with how you want to feel. There's always something there for you to learn about yourself, always. And if you can ask yourself that question and do that for one activity at a time, you're going to realize that you'll be able to stop repeating any patterns that may have been going on for years and years and years that have helped or held you back, I would say, from achieving any goal you set for yourself. So guys, I love you. Have a fantastic weekend. I know that this is going to help some people out there. It's definitely a game changer for me. So have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 7. I love you. Cheers.